Hi everyone, it's Lillian here and welcome to another Monday evening of crafting with me. Every Monday evening you can find us here and many of you hop on and we're so glad to have you. And if you can't watch when we're live, remember it's always here in the replay and it's always on my YouTube channel as well. So once this is over, I upload it to YouTube so you can always find it there as well. So there are different places to find it and it's all good. So I don't know what your day's been like, but ours has been really interesting. We now have a vehicle again, and we both had physio today, and it's been a busy day, something we're not used to right now because we tend to have lots of rests, but we're getting stronger and the energy level is increasing and the aches and pains are gradually disappearing. I can move around pretty easily now. Just got some bruising and some sore muscles to finish healing up. Harry's working a little slower at that, but it's coming. So we're all really thankful. So that being said, let's get on going with this tonight. On Saturday, I don't know, some of you might have caught it in my Facebook group. I hopped on and showed a technique. And the reason I did that was because some of you were asking, how did Karen get more than one color of ink on a stamp? And so the best way to show it, to explain it, was to show it. So I just hopped on and showed. So if there's a technique or something and you're saying, I don't know how to do that, could you show us? Be sure and let me know, because I would gladly hop on and do a video for that. So let's go down to my desk and get on with tonight. And I'm seeing lots of hellos, and I love how everybody says hello when they hop on, and that you greet each other. You guys have all started to become friends, and that is so neat. Now, this is always an experience here because Facebook has changed things, and I have to scroll for a mile before I can find whether I'm even live, and I am. So hey, we're getting there. And what I see through my phone and what I see on my video is also different. So we will get all that sorted out as well. Okay, maybe we will. There we go. So first things is Paper Pumpkin. There's a new Paper Pumpkin group, or project, pardon me. I was clicking on this something called group, and it is so cute. So it is little treat holders. I went to turn the paper to show you the sideways view. That's not going to work. Little snowman treat holders. It includes the little bags, and it is so much fun. But you must subscribe by November 10th and watch my newsletter or different. I will put it on here as well. So just watch for that link and do that. But all the different ways of signing up for Paper Pumpkin are in my newsletter, so do watch for that. Hello, everyone. Hi, Sue, Marg. Hey, great to see you guys to know you guys are here. Maybe I better say that. The other thing that I wanted to share is this is something that is coming November 2nd. It's called Eden's Garden. And if you follow any posts, you are seeing tons of samples using this. It's available for demonstrators, and so they're using it already. So there's this gorgeous stamp set and die. Now this is not shown at actual size, it's reduced. This is going to be in the next mini catalog. And then these accessories here are available while supplies last. They will not be in the next catalog, and they are gorgeous. And these are now in stock. So we are good to go with that as well. The other thing is, I think many of you, but just in case someone is watching here that doesn't subscribe to my newsletter, I have been doing the 12 weeks of Christmas. This week is week 3, 4. What week are we on here? Anyway, there will be every Wednesday at 1. I send out a tutorial for the 12 weeks of Christmas. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, you get that free of charge. So hi, Kathleen. Somebody can't wait for the Oh, things go past. I can't read fast enough. Somebody can't wait for Eden's Garden. Super. Oh, I think it's Sue. Yeah, it's fabulous. Another thing I have going on is the Whimsy and Wonder online class. So you can register for that here. And let me just explain a little bit about that. It is a class that is featuring this suite of products. So it's on page 24 and 25 of the mini catalog. So right now I've got the class being offered. If you want the project kit, you must register by Thursday, the 21st, because I only have a certain number of kits available. And so it's first come, first serve. If you order the whole suite right here, the kits and the tutorials and the videos are free. So that's one way of getting it free. And then there's all different other ways you can get it. So if you go here, you can see different ways that you can opt into that class if that interests you. I'm going to show you just a few teasers here in a moment. If you want to order the supplies yourself, for example, if you want to order that suite, for some of you, it's handier to order it yourself and get it delivered to you because you don't live nearby. Just use this hostess code and it will all be good. And then maybe drop me a message or an email saying that you ordered it, just to double check, make sure that I am aware. So it features this bundle here, the Whimsical Trees, which has so many wonderful things. You've seen me use this quite a bit. And some of the words even can be for other occasions, I think. And the trees, I'm in love with these trees. And I particularly love these little guys, but I love them all. And look at this one. Oh, they're all so good. Anyway, just a really neat set. Or bundle, I guess I should say, if I use my correct terminology. So here you make 6 cards. I'll give you the instructions and have the supplies for 6 different cards. So it'd be this one like this with a scallop. I will do die cutting that does not involve the trees, but you will have the bundle, so you will be able to do those die cutting yourself. And then there's this one here and this one here. The snowflakes are used quite a bit because they're just so cute. So there is that class, but time is running out to register for that. So let me just take a look. Have I covered everything? Let me know here. Okay, I wanted to talk tonight a little bit about designer paper. Some designer paper now is coming and it is like this. So it's got this way and then it seems to be upside down. And I've had different people say, well, how do you use that kind of designer paper? They're used to seeing designer paper that has an all over design like this, or like this, or like this. So how do you use designer paper that seems to have a top and a bottom? So this is one example. Expressions in Ink has it. We've got the beauty of the earth has it, but this one here, the peaceful. I've just blanked out on the name. I got it right here. The Peaceful Place designer paper has quite a bit in here. So I'm going to concentrate on showing you that tonight. Plus, I threw out a little teaser last week when I asked if you liked to see, which you liked better, if you liked this on black or if you liked it on white. So I thought we would capitalize on that tonight. So first off, I'm using the designer paper from that package, the Peaceful, what did I say? Peaceful Place. And it's 12 by 12. So what I cut, maybe it went this way. Or I just cut some off. So I've just got this piece left. So when you have it like that, when you've got 12 by 12 paper, you kind of want to plan so you can maximize the use of your paper. So what I did when I was planning this slimline card is I know that with 12 by 12, I could get 4 panels if I made them 3 inches wide. So I sort of started from that. So I could get this, I'll just turn it over so you can see this panel. Where's the rest here? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was my plan for that. And I knew that I wanted it to be that height. So I went that route. And you're saying, well, what about if you wanted it a different size? I'm going to talk about that later. So just bear with me here. So let's move this out of the way and bring in the cardstock bases. So we've got the black one that is 9 by 7.5, and that's because it will fit in, is it an A10? But it's your legal size envelopes that you can buy in bulk. And then I scored it at 3 1/4. So when you're finished, it is 9 inches tall and when it's folded, and 3 1/4 inches wide. So I've got the basic white and I've got the basic black. So we've got those two, and we're just going to, although they've been folded, they need a little nudge in the right direction. So we've got those like that. And then for the black one, I brought in a piece of the next layer that's 8.5 by 3 1/4. So you can all thank me. I stuck with 1/4 inch increments, so you don't have to worry about the eighths. And so I did the same measurements, but with black on this side. So there we go. That's going to go like that. And then that enabled me to bring in these panels that would be 8 1/4 by 3. And so I could get 4 out of one piece of designer paper, plus have the extra to play with, to make other types of cards with. So there are our basic ones. And I love it when I give you choices. Which do you like, this one or this one better? Because you all chime in with all different choices. At this time, it was predominantly that you liked it on the black, but there was definitely both. So there's no right or wrong. I think that's what it reinforces for me. But what are you going to do with this? So some of you are saying, well, it's a Christmas card. It doesn't have to be. To me, I thought we could take this other directions. So we're going to play with a couple of ideas here. And I'm going to use the Peaceful Cabin stamp set because look at these words. They're not just Christmas. They can be used for all kinds of things. I have been using this stamp set a lot. I love the whole stamp set, but these words are just perfect. So tonight, I think we'll go with wishing you the best. And I'll take out for you, just in case I change my mind. And I think I'll stick with wishing you the best to begin with because I only got one block out. And we'll put that on the block like that. And so we've got our block ready to go. We've got our black ink ready to go. Now let's just play around. Now I thought we could play with some shapes. Like this could go like that. That was an idea, but it looked like it needed a little bit more. I also thought this could be a possibility. I can't remember what I was thinking. So then I thought, what if we brought in a little bit of color? So if we put just a little bit of color behind here. Now I know it's hard to see because it's all sliding all over, but pretty soon we're going to have it all fastened down. And what about if we brought in a little bit of ribbon? So let's see here. We could bring in some ribbon like that. That would add some color. This ribbon, I just love this ribbon. It could go like that. Or maybe, I could put the red down and layer the black on top. Well, that might look pretty neat too. What do you think? Should I layer the red ribbon and the black gingham together or not? Let me know about that one, and I'm going to work on this one. So we're going to do ribbon on this one and the pop of the circle color on this one. So I will do some stamping here. If I can clear my space a little bit. So we'll ink this up. See if I can get it straight. I see somebody saying layer, layer. Oh, okay. We are going to layer, it looks like. So wishing you the best. Isn't that a gorgeous font? Maybe it's a bit far from the camera. Look at that. I love that combination of font. Really, really like that. Okay, layer for sure. Okay, we will do that. We'll keep all this ribbon here. Oh, I even had another ribbon, but we won't even go there. So let's start to assemble this card. Okay, we will stick the designer paper down to this layer here. And for me, this it could be a birthday card. It could be anything. And I think it could suit just fine for a guy too. What do you guys think? Do you think you would give a card like this to a guy? Better, I'm trying to look through the camera here, see if it's straight. There we go. So we've got that. Now, if we layer these two, I'm just going to put, whoops, went to take the lid off and it wasn't even there. Layer this onto here. I should have done that on my silicone mat. There, it's pretty centered, and I think I'm going to put that on dimensionals. Just give it another minute to set up. For sure you give it to a guy. Oh, good. So I'm on the right path. I thought I would too. So there we go. I'm going to use a couple, have the black dimensionals. I love that we have black dimensionals now. They just sort of blend in on the darker colors. Now, where am I going to put it? No, I think I like it down here better. So do you do that? Do you kind of walk around your projects, around your card with your different elements to see where it would go? So we've got it that far. We might add one more thing, but we're going to stop. We're going to work on the other card, and then we're going to come back and just see if we do need the next thing. So I had thought of this ribbon too, but I think we've got enough going on here. So what I have is a piece of basic white that is 2.5 by 3/4, and I brought in the Banners Pick-a-Punch. I find that I use this an awful lot, this punch, because it just seems to do a lot of things that I want. So there we go. We're going to stick with the same stamp set. Here we go. Now let's get it lined up again. We did well on the last one. I stamped one just in case ahead of time. So if I mess up, I can go to that one, but I think I'm okay there. There we go. So we've got the stamping done. We've got this. So what we're going to do, we're going to wrap the red ribbon around. So what I like to do for that is I will run a bit of seal down each side. So I either use glue dots or seal. Just sort of depends what's handy at the time. We'll stick this ribbon down because it's the bottom layer. There we go. I'm going to bring my silicone mat in because it's sticky. Now, let's just see. Do we want, let's get it in the camera here, Lillian. There we go. Do we want it all the way across? I think I'm going to put it all the way across. So there, I'm bringing in some snips that are strictly for ribbon. There we go. And I will use a glue dot this time because it's sticking ribbon to ribbon. So I'll put a glue dot on both ends. For some reason, my camera seems to be in a different spot tonight. Oh, well. We'll make it work. So there we go. It just adds a little bit of interest. like that. Now this is going to go on top. I'm going to see, I think I could cut a little bit off there. It might be just a bit on the long side. So I could bring my snips in and do it, but I never cut straight. So I will bring my paper trimmer in and just cut a little bit. When you're doing this kind of thing, part of it just depends on what words you choose. So now we're set back here, and before I put this on with dimensionals, I better glue my layers together. It's just a whole lot easier when everything is flat and not bulky. So we'll add this layer here. And if you wanted, I already glued it down, but you could always, offset your layers too a little bit too. If you have trouble getting things lined up, then make it look like you meant them to be crooked. That's just a perfect way to go. There we go, like that. Let's see. I think that looks okay. There we go. Now we'll add our words. And because this is white, I'm going to actually use white dimensionals. I'm going to use minis because what I want to do here is I want to make sure I'm catching some of the designer paper, not the ribbon, because the ribbon will push everything up. So I'm going to put this right sort of overlapping the ribbon, and I think we're going to have enough room there. So I'll put a couple here as well. So it helps to hold the ribbon in place, but it's making sure that it's on the cards or in the designer paper so that it's secure. There we go. And I'm going to line it up. I want to line it up with the edge of the designer paper. And there's that card. So we've got these two. Now we've got this little splashes of red. And so this is actually cherry cobbler here and real red ribbon. And it adds something. But do we need a little something more? So I brought in, where did I put them now? Here they are. Brought in a couple of options. One is the matte decorative dots. And look at this. It goes perfectly with the cherry cobbler. Or we could use some of these sequins and just scatter. I'm just going to put a few here so you can see. So should we go, with the decorative dots? So that with the cherry cobbler decorative dots, or should we scatter some sequins to add some interest here? What do you think? Dots or sequins? Which do you think? Let's see if I can get these off. It's pretty solid. Here, let me put it on the end of my take your pick tool. There we go. So there's what those would look like there. So a star, the star would be good. Yeah, never thought of that. Sequins on the car with the ribbon and dots on the other. Hey, now there we can go. Well, why don't we do that? So, but Diana was saying if you had a star, and we have lots of dies with stars, you could use the some of the metallic papers and put a star on top of the tree. That would look really good. But if we're looking at this for, say, other occasions, we can go this route, right? And so we could add this here maybe, and I don't know, maybe a couple up here. And there we've got a bit of color on here. So we've added just a bit of color to this one here. So now let's try using these sequins. For those of you who were at Stamping Staycation, you know that I was demonstrating using these sequins, and I banged the sequin container and sent them flying. It was, Marilyn and Joanne were laughing because they could just imagine what was going on. So what I'm going to do to add the sequins is I'm going to put little dots of glue wherever I think I'm going to put sequins. I'll put one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we need an odd number, so we better add another one, right? Okay, let's put one here. There we go. Now these sequins, they have clear ones and they have white ones and they have silver ones, and they're in different sizes. So I'm not even going to try to choose different ones. I'm just going to pick up whatever I happen to pick up. Which it's still on here. There we go. It's so tiny. There we go. We've got that one. And we've got this one. I better turn it around. I've got glue on my fingers. There we go. And what I really like about these sequins is they don't have a hole in the middle. So you don't have glue coming up out of the middle. That one has to go. I put the glue on the wrong side. There we go. Like that. And I think we need some silver. Where should we put this? Oh, how about here? And I know it looks gluey right now, but I would blot that glue off afterwards. It's all going to work out okay. Good thing we've got two ends to the take your pick tool. There we go. No, I want a silver one. Do you start to get picky about which embellishments you use when you have a selection like this? There we go. And we need one more down here. There we go. Oh, there's two there. That's what's happening. There. Now, as many of you know, I usually have a rag here or a paper towel. If you come to my classes, we have paper towels. I better put that somewhere safe. And I am just going to catch the excess of that glue and remove it like that. And there we go. So now there's two different options. We've got the sparkle on here. We've got the red on here. Now, when you're cutting your paper, you often end up with scraps. So I cut a whole bunch of scraps like this, and I added them to the basic black paper. And I've got a little frog in my throat. And then in here, in the black one, I would add a white panel like this. And then you could add, and Karen Gardner's watching tonight, and she taught me this trick. So I use it all the time now, Karen. So now I could decorate the inside and carry that color scheme through. Or on this one, I could just add it right here or wherever you want it. But that's a way of finishing the inside. So those are the two cards. So I finished the ones that you were interacting with on during last week. So now, do you have a favorite one? Do you like, let's say, do you like the one with the black base or the white base, or is it a toss-up? Do you like both? And while you're doing that, I have a few more samples to show you once I clear a little bit of my mess here. So when I was showing you this here, I thought you would like to see some samples done with this. So one of the samples here, this one here, this 12 by 12 paper was cut at 6 inches, and then you could either make it 5.5 and do some stamping along the bottom here, or you could go that way. this is what I tend to do anyway. I tend to cut it at 6 inches and then start to play with where it is. So here is one simple one, just done with this one here. So you don't have to do very much more to the card for it to look really nice. These rhinestones are the holiday rhinestones, so they are the colored ones. So still using this. And this, I'm sure I will end up doing in a Facebook Live at some point. So using this paper, but this time it was the whole 5.5 by 12. And then it's like that with the, again, the whimsical trees there. And then using this paper here, so this one like this, so it looks like you would cut it in 4, but you can always cut that as well. So here's one. Remember, I've shown this one before. This is one that Joanne gave me. So this section here is cut. So right here, like that, and just stamped right on it, and then ribbon added. So you could add some jewels, rhinestones or something if you wanted, but it looks really nice like that. The sequins would look nice on that too. So here, this is the same style as this one here, just done with different colors and with this paper. So on this, it was sort of like catching a bit of that. So it's this section right here. So again, you just sort of plan what you want to do. And then I saw this card, and I had to case it. So it was Diane Evans made this, and I changed it up a little bit. But again, it's using a section of the designer paper, and then I put the cabin on top. And this was a little more to it, but and the shimmery wink of Stella on the roof and the metallic trees. So that was just a whole lot of fun. Now, I said when I started out tonight that I wasn't going to just show you with this paper. So the Blackberry Beauty paper came, and all I've got left is this of this piece, but it came like this too. So it had the top and the bottom. So I cut it at the 6 inches, and then we cut it down to fit on a card front. And in our stamp club this month, we did this. So it's just the paper to add a little bit of interest. We could have left it flat. We used the stitched rectangles and cut a panel out of the middle and just raised it on dimensionals, but it's just very fast and easy, and put a little tag on it. Again, those words are from the Peaceful Cabin set. And then on the inside, it's not glued down, but we just used some from the Harvest, whatever stamp set that is. But anyway, just a fun way to use that designer paper. Or if you just have a panel, you could always just layer it onto a card, trim it down, add a tag or some words or a die cut, and you would have a way to go. So don't be intimidated by these designer papers that seem to have a top and bottom. They are really fun to use once you're brave enough to cut it. And if you're not sure where to cut at the 6 inches, unless you're wanting to do a slim line or something like the card tonight. So I am seeing that people like both cards, people like black. So it's all over the map. I think you could be proud to send these cards, either one of them, to somebody. But the black is maybe a little more dramatic. I don't know. But two wonderful cards. So be brave, cut into that designer paper, add a little color if you want. And thank you so much for all of you who share and click the subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate that so much. And remember, if you're ordering from my online store, please use this hostess code. Unless your order is $200, then you're getting all the hostess benefits on your own. So don't worry about it then. But if it's under $200, I'd really appreciate it if you use that. It's fun, Karen, it's fun to cut it and then get so many designs. It is. I have to admit, I was scared to cut it first, and then I thought, well, I know who sells the paper, myself. So be brave and cut it, and I haven't been sorry. It has been so much fun. So If you're a little bit hesitant, cut the shape in scrap paper first and just hold it over, but then go for it. You won't be sorry. All right. Take care. Have fun. Bye-bye.